Why, hello there. Looking for some Napoleonic Prussian line infantry? You came to the right place. These are Perry miniatures, Prussian line infantry, 1813 to 1815. Does anyone really bothered about the date?
Maybe some people that are
because
really...
yeah, but nearly every manufacturer, they just do late Napoleonics.
Yeah.
No one does. Does anyone do French in bicorn other than whatever the name is? There's a company that does do them, I know, because I've seen them. Is it Vitrix? Yeah, Vitrix does them. But everyone else just does like, well, post 1812 really, usually, which is a bit boring because that's after the Russians have already trounced the French and it's all over really for the French. We're just waiting for them to lose.
Yep.
Whereas the glorious years where France was conquering everybody, a bit different. So here we have the Prussian line infantry. Up there with the Russians as one of the most boring armies to paint. The Prussians were boring. We have another box of Prussians. This guy, this is from Warlord. This is for Prussian Landwehr. And they were great to put together because all you do is put the head on. There's no work whatsoever. These guys, we've already had a look at them and they look very similar.
Yeah,
in how you put them together. So, should we... Anything on the back? No. There you go. Head, backpack. Done. Problem solved. Right, so these are... Even though these are Perry and Warlord, these are great. So, let's pop them.
I'm surprised you get 46.
Yeah, you do get more in this. In the...
26.
You get 26 in this one. And you get 46 in this one. So you could get, more or less you can get 2 regiments out of it, depending how you're doing your regiments. Yeah. Or I mean, you could end up with not enough Prussian Landwehr if you're doing large regiments. And the Landwehr regiments were quite big, or some of them were.
Well, like the ones on Warlord here, did all 26 is one big regiment.
Yes. But some
people
base,
26.
Yeah, there's all sorts of ways of basing and ways of doing 28mm. I suppose a slight downside would be if you're wanting to do skirmish games, these figures, which are your marching troops, are a bit dull. So like if you're doing American Civil War, English Civil War, you have troops that you can use as like a skirmish game, you have 20 figures each and you're fighting over a barn or something. Or you're doing sharp, you're playing sharp rifles or whatever sort of game you're doing like that. I know not a lot of people actually do those games. Most of them now do the big armies. But you're kind of stuffed with modern figures for skirmishing if you want to get a decent amount of them cheap in a box. Because they are, you know. Anyway, this is the Prussian line infantry, and they are entirely assembled with hardly any work needed at all. And then you get the backpack and the heads.
I really like them backpacks.
You like them, do you?
They're so much different to the usual.
Well, they've got the coat over the back, wrapped around the back, which they would normally be wearing in real life. And they have the bread bag and an ammo belt. So that's it. It's standard really. It just looks different because it's got the coat over the shoulder. I'm assuming it's a coat.
Yeah, it is, because they're also sometimes wearing it and sometimes they're not wearing it. So I'm going to have to be very specific on the figures here. He's wearing it, so he has to have a different kind of backpack.
Right.
And the ones that are... Right.
Sorry, I had just disclosure. I had the jab this morning for the
COVID vaccine
for the China Nurgle plague, and I didn't want it, but my doctor was like ringing me up saying you've got to have it or you'll die. And I thought, well, if I go into a shop one day and I don't have my papers on me, I might be put in a camp. So I don't want to go in a camp. So I decided I better have it, and then I could have my little piece of paper, so when they stop me on the street and say, I want to seize your papers, I can go, yes, here's my papers, Oberleutnant, and then the COVID Stasi can leave me alone. Sorry, feeling rather negative now. I feel like I've got flu.
You feel better later.
No, I don't know why I'm sneezing. I just started sneezing. Right, anyway. So if you're watching this video in 2 years' time, you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Or maybe you do.
There's in history books.
Maybe
in
back,
class.
maybe back in lockdown in 2 years' time. As variant 556 has been unleashed. Yes. So, yes, as you said, there's some without. Let's have a look. Is he? What is he? Let's have a... See, what is that?
Is he an officer?
I'm not sure. We've got a separate officer sprue, which I'm going to look at in a second. So he must just be a soldier, and I don't know what that is. It's too small to be a what? No, it's got a chain attached to it. Well, it can't be a powder pal.
There you go. He's a
it's a Jaeger.
Jaeger.
Right, it is a powder pouch then. Oh, it's a very small Oh, of course, right. So if you put it at an angle,
Oh god.
you can actually see it goes all the way down there. Sorry, from my angle I can only see the top of it. But yes, if you look at it that way, there's a powder pouch. So he's a Jaeger. And that's quite good. So you get 7 figures on a sprue, 1 Jaeger per 6 men. So your Jaegers you would either base as a Jaeger company on the it's German, so right hand side of the regiment, or you could have them based individually as skirmishers. So that's up to you. That's quite good. That's yeah. So that you mentioned the backpack, so that would be the Jaegers, won't it?
Yeah, it must be.
There we have a Jaeger cap,
And there's his Jaeger backpack.
and his Jaeger backpack next to it. Right. Oh, we're learning something, aren't we?
See, even if Perry had to put some detail in there somewhere to keep up to their name.
Yeah. That's quite good. I like that. That's hats off again to Perry. Well, who did I take the hat off to the last time?
Warlord.
What, for having the dead Frenchman?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Warlord, was it? Right. I was totally impressed with dead Frenchman in the base. It's like,
It was British actually, wasn't it?
yeah, there's a dead British guy and a dead
guy,
Frenchman.
yeah.
We unpacked the box, and they obviously have spare space on the sprue. And unlike a workshop that does games, which will just leave it blank and tell you to get stuff,
It's just bang.
they added 2 dead bodies that you can use in the battlefield. That's just great. It's just great. And here you get a Jaeger, which is just brilliant. So the hats are all wrapped up quite nicely, and that's about it. They're just wearing the shako cover. What's I know the name of shako cover. What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, the shako cover. That's what they wear.
It's handy though because we're all wearing the exact same cap, so it's really easy for me to do.
Yes, yes.
Some have a special cap, the other ones have a different cap, and then the others have a different cap, and then the others have a different cap.
They're all exactly the same sprues, so I'm not going to bother.
So what, you get 6 Jaeger?
You get 6 Jaeger, yeah, because you got 6 sprues.
That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, because that would be one base, wouldn't it, in bolt action?
Yeah.
So if you're doing the larger regiments, 4 to 6 figures in a box, that would be 6 figures on a base. Oh, and there are the bases. I wouldn't use these bases. I don't use these sizes.
Oh, there's a Voltier base there.
Nah,
He's got a little tiny base of
10 little base, yeah. What we do, we base either 4 to a base or 6 to a base, depending on the type of army that would. So British have 4 to a base, and French and most other countries have 6 to a base because the units were larger.
This looks like 6.
This looks like 6, yeah. Prussian army was big.
Yeah.
So then we get the command sprue.
It's too normal.
Well, we have.
A drummer.
Down there is the back of a figure with that attached. That's quite an interesting way of basing it. Then you have the drummer with his sheet to protect him from having his leg torn apart by the drum strings. That's the officer. We have another officer that he could be an officer.
Yeah.
Then we have the drummer. Is he a drummer? No, sorry, he's a drummer. He's a standard bearer, isn't he? By the look of it.
Then what's the guy with his arm hanging out?
I would assume that's an NCO. So you only have one flag.
There he is.
Oh, he's an NCO.
Yeah.
So he's carrying a rifle. And
This is why I like the art, because I just look at the art and go, that's what he's supposed to be
You
doing.
know how to put it together by looking at the box, yeah. So that's there, and that's quite nice. I like this box. This is up there with the Prussian landwehr box and the French
I love the Prussian landwehr.
Cuirassiers. Yeah.
Easiest day of my life doing the Prussian landwehr. So nice.
And here's how to paint them. They're just Prussian. You can't not paint Prussian right.
Who's the one that did the Russians?
What?
The Russians, Pavlovsky and them. What company did them? Is it Warlord?
The Pavlovsky. I think they're Warlord.
Because they're just like these ones.
Yeah, because they actually have lead figures in as opposed to tin.
All the figures are lead with
yeah.
the heads anyway.
That's the flags you get in the box. Only 3 flags. So if you're doing more than 3 regiments, you need more than 3 flags. There are flags on the market everywhere, or you can just go on the internet, type in flag, and you'll get one. You can just copy and print. But it's up to you, really. But in 28mm, because I used to go to Triples in Sheffield, which was next door to where we used to live, and we'd just walk in and I'd buy £30-40 worth of flags. Just random flags, just in case I needed them in the next few years. And so I always had spare 28mm flags, and now I don't have any, and there's no gaming shows now. So I can't go, there's nothing. I'm stuffed. Yeah, I got a lot of Spanish Succession flags about a year before we did Spanish Succession, but I saw them at a stand and they weren't paper, they looked like cloth. They were a special type of material and they were gorgeous, and I bought a load of them. Cost me a fortune, and we weren't doing Spanish Succession at the time, but I just liked the flags, so I just bought them. And then about a year later we did Spanish Succession, and suddenly I had all these flags I could use. It's great. And then we sold them when we bought GW stuff, and we haven't got around to doing it again yet, but we'll think about it. We'll think about it. Well, so there you go. We've waffled on a lot about this box. They're great. Go and buy them now. They're awesome. If you want to do Prussians, and if you don't want to do Prussians, get them anyway because they're awesome. That's it.
Alright. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the Napoleonic Prussian line infantry. And in the description we will have, if anyone wants to support the channel, we do put these figures up for we do them all up, put the flags on and everything, and you can buy a set of your own. Yeah, basically when we either do a regiment of ours or a regiment of someone else's, some have been bought, we paint them up and we'll put a duplicate of them on the website, and you can go and have a look at them painted up, see if you want them. So it's great. Yeah,
well, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from you.
Goodbye.